Catherine. Now it's time to get you in the know. If you're wondering about adoption here in the Valley, we have got answers for you today. We got the adoption specialist. This is Crystal Ziegler, my good friend, with a place to call home. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Danielle.
It's always nice to have you here because I'm sure you get hundreds of questions about adoption in the Valley because there are so many people who are looking to adopt.
Yeah.
And today we're trying to find a forever home for a sweet little 2-year-old named Jonathan.
Yeah, isn't he so cute?
He is cute.
Jonathan is diagnosed with Rubinstein-Tabby syndrome, which means that it affects his system and his organs and his developmental stage. So he's at a 10-month old developmental stage right now.
Okay, so he's 2 years old, but he's at a 10-month
yeah,
stage
so he's not walking. He's able to crawl and scoot, but he's not walking. So he needs a home that will just walk with him through this, like help him work with his developmental milestones and his medical needs and stuff. But he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, by the pictures.
And I just fell in love with him.
Yeah.
He's a loving, loving little boy, sweetheart. Just wants to be held and loved, and loves light up toys. Bath time is his favorite, of course, like every little one. And he, you know, he's making strides every day. But he is not in a permanent place.
Okay.
And he just needs to be in a permanent place. He needs a family that will make that commitment to him, and one that knows that he'll probably be there past the age of 18.
Wow. So when you look for a family to help place Jonathan, what are some of the requirements that the family must have to meet his needs?
They just need to want to be informed about his medical needs, have the ability to take him to those appointments and things. All of the medical stuff is covered through adoption subsidies, so they're not going to pick up like medical expenses and things. The family won't pick that up. That will be covered for him.
Well, that's a good point to know, because so many people have the misconception, if I do take a child with special needs,
absolutely,
I'm going to be paying all these medical bills, my insurance is going to go up, but that's paid through the adoption service. Right,
that's through the adoption subsidy, and then All Tax and Access also will pick up those needs. So any surgeries he has to have, any special services he has to have, that's all covered. So it costs them nothing to do that.
Which is good to know, so they can have that as a relief and no burden on them, you know, if they are looking to adopt Jonathan. So if someone is looking to adopt Jonathan, is it better to have him in a home where there's other children, or a family that doesn't have kids so they can devote more attention and time to him?
I think it's either. It's what if they probably like a stay-at-home parent might be the best that would be able to dedicate that time to helping Jonathan with his medical needs and things. He is in a developmental daycare, so he could do that as well. But he just needs someone who can run those appointments and help him with that, and be versed in what his medical needs are.
Okay, and the process, is it a little different when you're taking care of a special needs child versus another child in the adoption services?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. It's still less than a semester of classes, but there are some medically fragile classes that they would need to take. So just to be more aware of how to meet his medical needs. But it's the same thing as your home, home inspection, criminal history, physicals, things like that.
Yeah, so, just to make sure you're a good fit.
The biggest thing is just a commitment and a heart, a heart that wants to love Jonathan and help him succeed.
Right.
Go above what everybody thinks that he can do.
And you're going to be in this for the long haul. If you're adopting him, you're going to see him all the way through to make sure he has that healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, you're going to be part of the success story of Jonathan.
Well, tell us a little bit about, a place to call home, because you said there's like 19,000
There
children?
is, there's 19,000 children looking for a home. We have a lot of sibling groups that come across our desk. We have a lot of older children, 7.5 and older, that are looking for homes. So and it costs you nothing to adopt. And I think that's the major question that I always answer all the time. People wonder, how much does it cost you to adopt through the state? And it costs you nothing. Everything is reimbursed to you. Your lawyer costs, any services are reimbursed. So, I mean, it's a great way to build your family.
I know, it's pretty easy. You make it easy for people out there so they don't have to jump through these hoops. All they have to have is a loving home, fill out some paperwork, answer some questions, have, a good background history, and just open their heart.
Open heart to embrace the journey. That's what I say.
Well, if you want to take Jonathan on a journey and open up your heart and home, we would love to have you do so. More information for A Place to Call Home is on their website at 2callhome.com. When we come back, Catherine is going to give us some information about preparing for an obstacle race.